All right, everybody, good morning. Welcome to our daily huddle. Jesse coming at you here from Flagstaff, and going to be heading up to Salt Lake City to enjoy the amazing Saturday event with the newest diamonds in the organization, Kate and Ryan Burns, and get a chance to spend a couple days in Salt Lake. So if you have any great ideas as to what's going on in Salt Lake City, or things I should go see, or things we should go do, or places we should go eat, because that's honestly the most important. We just like eat.
You're frozen.
On a sec, guys.
Don't go anywhere, guys.
Something else.
Can you hear me over here? No? Yes. Oh, now we got feedback. Hold on.
You can close the computer.
Oh, actually, yeah, close the computer. Okay, I'm migrating. Oh, you guys want to see the van? We got a paint job. So, anyway, hold on one sec. Sorry. This is so unprofessional, isn't it? So, but it's real life. So, hang on one sec. Let me get my piece in here. Okay. Can you hear me now? There we go. Can you see me? Okay, cool. Hey, so check. So we got the van painted, and here's what she looks like now. Oh, yeah. So it's actually really cool. It's like truck bed liner. It's called Raptor lining. And so it's like indestructible, which is awesome. So anyway, let's get into our topics here. And I'm going to be that obnoxious guy in the campsite who's screaming at his phone while everyone's walking around being like, chill out, bro. But that's going to happen. So this is our little training spot for the day, on a little picnic table, and get a chance for you to see the view. This is where we are right now. But anyway, okay, let's get into it and talk about some stuff. Let me, participants, mute all. And we are recording. Okay, here we go. So prepping and preparing for the next couple of days, but also I want to talk a little bit more in depth about what we talked about yesterday and give you a couple of assignments and some tasks here for this, because I have to record my kind of 60-second story and a few things here for some of the tools that we're in the midst of creating for you guys. And how many of you guys found yesterday beneficial, kind of unpacking your story, learning about it, putting it together? So one of the things that's going to be really important is it's time for you to write it out. It needs to be written out. Everybody that has really an effective 30-second story, a 60-second story, it's written out, it's practiced, it's rehearsed, and when you think about it, is every person that is a professional in whatever endeavor, there are certain tasks and certain skills or certain actions that they're going to be repeating and doing over and over and over and over and over. And the goal is to make it seem kind of almost effortless or simple. Now, whether you are a baseball player and you're, if you're getting up at bat and what it's like to, hit a baseball, or whether you're a pitcher and what it's like to throw a curveball. And in the beginning, what seems to be effort, when you do it again and again, all of a sudden what's difficult then starts looking effortless. And the goal here is to have some of the behaviors that you have on a regular basis start to becoming more effortless for your business, okay? So when it comes to this, so I want you to write this in your notes, your 30-second story and your 60-second story, okay? I'm not so concerned about which one you have first. Usually it's obviously easier to nail a 60-second and then kind of shorten it down to 30 seconds. But here's what I'm going to request from each of you is to send me an audio, send me a voice message, record it. You can do it on video or you can do it on audio. I would love video, and you can send it to me through text message, or you can send it to me through WhatsApp. and I want to hear your 60-second story. Oh, right? So now that way I can see where you're at. I can see what you need, what you might need to work on. And so that way we can create something that is exciting and juicy. And what we'll do is we'll get a chance to extract out of it. So going back to what we talked about yesterday and finishing up that conversation when it comes to creating your 60-second story. So you're looking to create relatedness, where you're from. Obviously, it's an important thing. So where you're from, what you do or what you did. So we want to find a way. Now, your job is not to try to connect with every person. So because it's just not possible. Like, obviously, I can't connect with the single parent who's looking for a way to be able to raise, be at home with a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. So that's not a story that I can connect and relate to. So I'm going to connect more with the young entrepreneur. I'm going to connect with the artist. I'm going to connect with people in the kind of going against the grain. So I'm going to connect with a different group of people than you're going to connect with, which is why we need everybody's stories, because we're not going to get one person who's going to connect with every single person. So when you're sharing your story, I want to dig into this a little bit further from yesterday, which is a little bit of the pain. And what I'm talking about is the pain and then the reward. So the pain is what's not working in your life right now that Seacret is the solution for. What's not working, or what is it that is? And a lot of times I know many of us, because we've probably read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. We've been through so many courses. We've read personal development books. So a lot of times what we end up doing is we end up, downplaying the circumstance and or the pain that's really a big driver for us. In life, most people are motivated. We're motivated by two things. We're motivated by pain. We're motivated by pleasure. Those are two things. These are big human motivators, pain and pleasure. Now, what I found is pain is usually a bigger motivator for most people than pleasure and or reward. Okay. Now, in that, Reverend Michael Beckwith said something I'll never forget at one of his seminars. He said that people are pushed by pain until they're pulled by vision. People are pushed by pain until they're pulled by vision. Many of you right now, you are pulled by the vision of where you're going. Most people in their daily lives are pushed by pain of their circumstances. So it's the biggest motivators in their life that get them out, get them doing things are more painful situations. So it's important to talk about the pain, okay, and talk about where you're going with it. So and I'll give you some examples of what I mean by this with powerful 60-second stories that I've heard over the years. Okay, so I had one guy who said he was a new dad. He says, I have a newborn at home, and I want to be there for his first steps and his important moments in his life, because growing up, my dad worked 80 hours a week away from the home and I never saw him. Oh, right? I mean, and when he said it, you could feel it on him. It was juicy because it was real for him. And that was the pain of going, okay, I don't want my child to have the same experience I had growing up with an absentee father. That, for a father in the room, or a father listening to that, or even a mother listening to that going like, oh my God, yes, how can I change that, right? So for me, when I was always sharing my 30-second or 60-second story from many, many years ago, it's slightly changed, but it's really still similar. So my name is Jesse. I'm originally from California. I grew up in the mountains, but made my way to LA to pursue a background in entertainment. I was a professional hip hop dancer, and yes, I am white. That joke has worked for 18 years. So see, you guys still smile. Yes, I am white. But I found out when I moved to LA, you have to teach a lot of dance classes to pay rent. So I was a starving artist, and I was looking for a way to be able to still have the freedom I was looking for, be an artist, just not be starving anymore. And I found that opportunity here with this company. It's pretty short, pretty sweet, pretty simple. Okay. So anybody that's in that, as I look, I can expand that to a 30-second, a 60-second. I can say my story in 5 minutes. I could share my story in 10 minutes. I could share my story in long, long, long time. Okay. So, but the other thing is the pain. So I want you to write this down. So what is the pain that has to be in your 30-second, 60-second story? What has to change? What is no longer I'm going to accept in my life? what is going to can't remain for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? What am I no longer going to be settling for? Where that is one of the pieces we're looking for. Does that make sense? Everyone give me a head nod. Yep. Okay. Number one. Number two. Okay. And this is where we didn't finish yesterday, which I want to talk about today. When you are finishing up your story is going to be where you see this going, or why your future will be different. Because remember, why your future will be different because of Seacret. Okay. Why your future will be different because of Seacret. This is why you don't need big results, because remember, you're trying to connect with the people that are evaluating making a decision. Remember that. The goal is to connect with the people evaluating, deciding, should I do this? Does this make sense? Can I do this? Will this work for me? Are these people crazy? Are they lying? Does this really work for them? Is this true? I've seen these things before. I've tried these things before. My aunt did these things. She said it was bad. In fact, my aunt was crazy. I don't know. These people seem kind of normal. These are the thoughts. You guys get what I'm talking about. So people aren't, what they're trying to evaluate is, will the decision to join this company be more positive than negative? So what we're trying to do is get them to think about what it is in their life that's not working and or would like to be different, and how that future can be different by joining this company. So I see a future for myself now where blah, blah, blah is available because of this company. Now I've joined this company. Or here's what I love. Okay? So one of the great things on your 30-second story is how you got or your 60-second story. 30 is a little bit more difficult. 60 seconds, how you were introduced to the company. Okay? How you were introduced to the company is real, and your real reaction. So my friend introduced me to the company, and when she first called me, I thought she was crazy. Okay? That's my story with Seacret. My brother-in-law in Chicago called me, and I told him he was an idiot, and I asked him, why are you trying to get me to do makeup? I was like, are you doing lipstick? What's wrong with you? So that goes real, because that's what really happened. So your story. Now, the next thing you're going to be adding on to your story is the results that are evidence that the future you're looking for will become real. So a good example of this, right? So Whitney, I'm not on the computer, so I can't see all of you. So I'm on like the 4-box thing. So Whitney, I'm going to have you unmute real quick. Because I'm going to pick on you here a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you've been with Seacret for how long? 3 months?
2 months.
2 months. Okay, 2 months. So, and in 2 months, okay, so I know that your goals in Seacret are big. So, right? And so I'm not going to talk about where you want to be in your future. That needs to be in your story. But let's talk about what's happened so far. Okay. So, and then I'll show you how you wrap this up, and then how you keep enhancing your story with the results that you're creating to make it more compelling. Okay. So in the first 2 months, let's talk about some things that have happened. Have you, you've enrolled some customers? Yes. Okay. So roughly how many customers?
1.
Okay. And how quickly did you get your first customer? Did you get your first agent or your first customer?
I got 4 agents in the first week.
4 agents in the first week.
My first customer in 2 weeks.
Perfect. Okay. And then the next is, and this was, like I said, about 2 months ago. And then you got executive bronze. Wait, which promotions?
Executive.
Okay, perfect. So got my first promotion. And was that in your first month or your second month? First month. Okay. So at first month, and 4 business partners, and your first promotion, and let's see what else. And is there any other, so that's kind of on the business success. Are there any results that you've had from the product, either from using the products that you're like, these are like, wow, I'm the results of this product and what I've noticed, what it's done to my skin or my hair, or what it's done for nutrition? Any results on that side yet?
I'm loving the product on both sides.
Okay.
I really love the shampoo after. I love all the nutrition products. I sleep better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how many of you guys noticed that none of those are really awesome? Did you guys notice that? Like, I mean, like none of them are ones where I would be like, I love the products. I love the products. I sleep better. I like that one. And shampoo and sleep better. But none of those were like, grab me. I don't know about you, but they didn't grab me. Did they grab you? They didn't grab me. So now, Whitney, they don't need to. And this isn't a make something up situation. But what we're looking for is what's the juice. Now, somebody in here has a testimonial on recovery, right? So somebody has like, oh my God, my shoulder, I couldn't move it at all. And I took these pills and then all of a sudden, boom, I don't even know what's going on, but look what's happening, you know? So we're going to find those stories. If you don't have that story, don't worry about it. But you want to start developing kind of those punch stories for a product, and they may not be yours. So
Okay.
in your story, a good example would be like my husband, my kid, you know? So, I mean, I fell in love with the products because they're amazing, but my first customer, oh my God, here's what happened type of thing, right? So now here's how we're going to add that on. So remember we talked about, here's where I am, here's who I am, here's who I am, here's what I was doing prior to Seacret. I was introduced by so-and-so, okay? And remember, we got to kind of cut the fluff, you know, whatever there is in there. And then, and here's where I was at in my life. And here's what wasn't working. We want some pain, okay? All right. And so I got started with Seacret because, you know, I see now this available for me in my future. So I see myself being able to, like we talked yesterday, which was I see myself being able to retire in the next 2 to 3 years instead of the next 20 to 30 years. What's so exciting, in my first month, I was able to get not only my first promotion, but my first 4 business partners and my first customer. So it's already starting to work for me, and I'm excited for the future. So what you're doing is you're basically saying, here's what I'm excited, here's where I'm going, and here's evidence that it's working already.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the only thing that you would add on to the end of your 60-second story. And then you just keep adding on the more things that are happening that are more evidence that where you're going is actually heading is correct. So a good example for me, when I first got started, when I first got started in network marketing, I'd say, you know, I first joined, my whole goal was I just wanted to put a full tank of gas in my car. And after getting trained properly and launching my business, I was able to make over $1,000 and nearly double my income from teaching dance classes, which completely changed my world. So now I'm so excited for where this is going to go. So it's always where it's going, not where it is, it's where it's going. Because remember, the people are evaluating, they're not in yet. They need to be thinking about where this can go for them. So where this is leading to. So we're constantly promoting to where it's leading to and evidence that it's become real. So, and is this making sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, in putting this together for your story, does anybody have any questions about your story, or, hey, I'm a little lost, or I'm help, or how would I do this, or maybe do this a little bit differently?
My biggest draw is the team and what Team Truth has to offer. That's okay.
Absolutely.
There, yeah.
100%. Okay. So now, but here's the thing is we got to relate it to the person. We got to relate it. Now, if you're targeting an audience of people that have been in network marketing, which I know quite a few of you guys are, then obviously that's a great selling point because that's a pain point for a lot of people that have been in this profession before, right? So of feeling like they were unsupported or didn't get the training or didn't have the resources or, you know, or worse than that, we talked about yesterday, which is, uplines not, in some cases, some of you guys are like, my upline was not there for me. And I can tell you in some cases that's better than them being there for you the wrong way. So I would have rather not had an upline when I first probably started network marketing, but it made me stronger. But the question is how can you share that in a way that somebody that maybe hasn't been in network marketing before can understand the value of it? Okay. So, or somebody that hasn't had that experience. So one of the reasons I chose this team is because of your previous experience. So, and what does that mean for support? Okay. So one of the reasons why I joined Seacret was because I had never seen a group of leaders that were providing the support that this team has, or this group has, or whatever it is. So for the first time in my life, I felt like it was like wind beneath my wings. That's a stupid line, but you get what I mean, right? So, and you can talk about how, one of the reasons why I feel like I have failed in the businesses before is because I didn't have the right team support that I really needed. And I have it now here. Okay. So if I want to be successful inside of network marketing, I need to have a good team support, and that's here. That's real. So things like that. Absolutely. 100%. So, who else has any questions? Should I include this? Should I not include this? Is this good? Does this make sense? Talk to me. Don't be shy. Nope. Okay.
So I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Can you hear me over the stuff out here?
Yep, I got you.
Anyway, so it's like I had retired from other stuff, and like I'll be 60 this year. So how do you couch like that? Like I had been sick for 7 years and now wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And so I mean, is that something that you could put in there, like?
100%. So let's just break it down real quick. We'll do abbreviated version of it. So what is it? Because I remember you telling me a little bit about your story when we talked when you first got started. So what's the result that you would like to get out of Seacret?
I would like to be making enough money that I can have an income while I'm sitting on the beach.
Income sitting on the beach, right? So okay,
or in the mountains, or want to be,
or wherever you want to be. So and is that not, and are you not able to do that now because of you're stuck somewhere?
No, I could do that, but I don't want to be dependent on my husband's income. I want to have my own income.
Boom, that was it. Did you guys get the difference there? There's more power in that. All the ladies just went, huh? So I love that. So because what we talked about, the first thing we said, although good, I want to be able to have freedom. It didn't really connect the dots as to really the reasoning for you. Okay. So now here's another question, Genevieve, and I think this is something that would be really good for you to add into your story is something around the lines of this. And I don't know what's true for you, but being sick for 7 years, that was a really difficult point in your life. So, and I'm assuming you didn't want to live out the rest of your life, just being sick and not living life to the fullest. Right. So, and I feel like when we've talked, the experience I got from you, which is, life is precious, and you never know what's going to happen. And I want people to have more security, or more. I want people to have more security in the event that something happens, whether it's planned or unplanned. Yeah. So, and maybe there's even something like this. As you're in your older years, you can speak to younger people through wisdom. So, and what I mean by that is the person that was coaching me when I was in my early 20s, he wasn't in his 60s, he was in his 40s, but he said, Jesse, trust me. It was like, I swear to God, if you listen to me and you spend the next 4 to 5 years building this business properly, and you kind of pay the price now, you can play the rest of your life. And I wish somebody when I was your age would have sat me down and told me how important it was for me to do this. Now obviously you can't wrap all that in a 30-second story exactly like that, but you can say something out of the tune, if you're talking about, so it's Genevieve, and here's my background, and unfortunately I got, really sick, and you get the abbreviated version of it, right? So really sick, and I was looking for ways to be able to earn income on my own time. But really I was looking for a way to be able to travel and have freedom and flexibility without being dependent on my husband's income. But my favorite thing is helping people get access to their freedom in the event that something comes up, and making sure that their families are protected. Because I wish I would have had something like this that I had built earlier in life, so before I got sick, rather than building it after, because life is precious, and my goal is to live my life to the fullest and teach other people to do the same.
Thank you. Can I ask you one other question?
Absolutely.
I'm also really thankful now that I've got this because my dad was taking care of my mom, and now my dad crushed his heel bone, and actually he had surgery this morning, guys. It worked really well. That was at surgery at
Yeah.
7:30 our Eastern time, so really early your time. We had to get him in
Yeah.
the car at 3:30 in the morning to get him 2 hours away to the hospital. So I'm happy it went well. My brother's coming back with him soon. But anyway, so now unplanned, instead of living in Raleigh where I was living, I'm now living in Morehead City, taking care of both my parents. So that's, I don't know, is it complicated to get that in the story?
No,
That, like, oh, I this, and like, since it's like great that I've got this because I can do it from wherever I am. Like, it didn't matter that I'm not in Raleigh. I can still do this in Morehead.
absolutely. One of the things I love about my business is the fact that I now have to be taking care of my, two parents, and thank God I have a business that I can do from anywhere. Otherwise that wouldn't be possible. Boom. Right. So here's what we're looking to do. Now, what I want you guys to do in the beginning here real quick, with your guys' stories, because I'm expecting you guys send them to me, and I don't want you to be scared about doing it wrong. I don't even care if it's not 60 seconds in the beginning. Obviously the goal is to get it there. In the beginning, I can promise you, you're probably going to do it longer. It's probably going to be longer. You're going to write it out. And then what we're going to try to do is go, okay, what can we shorten up? What really is kind of boiling down to the moral of the story? So a good example is, Red Riding Hood. You guys remember the story of Little Red Riding Hood, right? So Little Red Riding Hood, it's a long story, and we could tell that story over the course of a book. We could tell it over a course of movies. Movies have been made about it, right? So what's the moral of the story? Don't talk to strangers. Like, that's the moral of the story. We can boil it down to don't talk to strangers. We can boil it down to what, 4 words? So what we're looking to do is to create that story, and it's going to evolve. But I want you to have a solid base on it where you can get onto a testimonial, you can get onto a webinar, you can get onto a presentation. But here's the most important part. The place that your story is going to be really important is in 3-way phone calls and in group chat discussions when we start connecting each other with other people. So the more we know about each other's story, the more the team has so much power. So I want to share with you guys where this is going and why this is so important, okay? When we have 30, 40, 50, 100 people inside of this organization that can effectively share their story in a compelling way, what ends up happening is the team gets to start utilizing all of those stories, and you get to leverage the power of everyone's background and everyone's stories. So a good example is this. When I meet somebody that is 60 or looking to retire, or maybe somebody that has experienced a really challenging illness or sickness in their life, I can say, oh my God, listen, I can't wait to introduce you to my friend Genevieve. You have to hear her story. And all of a sudden, Genevieve, here's why I got started in Seacret, and here's what's the results that have happened for me. And I'm so grateful that I joined this company because here's what's happened for me so far. All of a sudden, I don't have that story, but the team has that story. All of a sudden, when we're talking about the person, oh my God, I'm in corporate finances. Oh my God, one of our business partners is in corporate finance. In fact, she was in HR for 10 years, and she's got 2 kids. And the reason she got started in Seacret, you have to hear this woman's story. And all of a sudden, now we're talking, oh my God, you have to hear my friend Whitney's, Angela, Carla, oh my God. And all of a sudden, the business no longer becomes about you and your result. It's nearly irrelevant. We are sharing the power of the team and the power of the stories of a team that we can all effectively start sharing with each other. And I started doing this with my organization, and then we got sidetracked and had to pivot. But now is the time that we're going to create the most powerful stories and be able to showcase them in ways that you'll be able to use them as effective tools to build your business. So anybody that's evaluating what Seacret can look like in their future, we have a story for them. Oh, you're a chiropractor? Oh my God, one of the people on our team is, oh, you guys get where this is going. So, but that's why it's really important for all of us to be able to start effectively being able to articulate our story. And what we're doing is we'll be able to do that in the groups. We'll do that in the ATM groups. We'll also be able to do this just in individual groups. So like if I have somebody, I can meet up and I can put Angela in a group message with my prospect, and I can say, hey, Angela, this is my friend Sarah. You guys had a lot of common. she was evaluating whether or not she wanted to do Seacret, but she was concerned because of this and that. I was hoping you might be able to share your story with her. And Angela can share her 60-second story, boom, powerfully, to provide proof, evidence that what I've been showing her about Seacret is real. And then all of a sudden, what's exciting is every person that you have a chance to go, this is why I became such a great recruiter. I knew everybody's stories. And all I did, and people were like, how did you recruit everybody? I was like, honestly, I just was fired up about what I was doing. I got good at presenting the information in a way that they could paint themselves into the picture. And then I connected them with other people for the stories and the testimonials. In fact, my number one, my secret weapons was this. My goal was to introduce them to 3 people to share their testimonials about the company more than faster than anybody. Okay. So this is where this is going. So your stories, send them to me. I can't wait to hear them. And we'll work on them together with you guys. Okay. So send me, send me a rough draft. Just shoot your shot. I don't care how crappy it is. I don't care if you think it's the worst 60-second story ever. I just want you to record it. You can do it on an audio message. You can send it to me in audio on WhatsApp. You can record it on your phone. You can do it on a video. I don't really care. Send it to me in any format. So we can start creating these powerful stories. Does anybody else have any questions about your stories? New? Okay. The method to the madness here.
Actually, I do when you're done, but I want to ask after you quit recording.
No problem. Or you can just send me a message or call me after.
All right, that's fine.
So what we'll do is, so let's say today's Thursday. We've got to get our stories together. We've got today and tomorrow. So now is the last chance that you have to promote. Who are those phone calls that you need to promote to? Where are the places you can promote to? I have more people that are attending the event on Saturday that are not even in Seacret because they want to hear John C. Maxwell. So I've invited them to see John C. Maxwell, and I had them register on secretlive.com and just use my agent ID number, put their email, so they got the link. And I said, hey, let me know when you registered for the event. I'll send you the link so that way, in case you don't have it. I believe John C. Maxwell will be the keynote in the first section of the day. But honestly, what I'm doing is this. I say, look, I'm not sure when he's going on. I know he's going on in the first section. The event starts at 10 o'clock. He may be going on shortly after that. It's a little bit sneaky, but I want them to hear Isaac's opening speech. So, because I know what Isaac's opening speech is going to be. And chances are, if they hear Isaac's opening speech about our economy and where the global world is going and this kind of ecosystem that has been created over the last 20 years and how our company has been growing at an alarming rate, and the details and the numbers and the year in review so far, and all the new exciting announcements that he's giving an idea that we're going to unpack throughout the day. Who knows? Maybe they might get fired up and want to join the Seacret with me. So that's the morning session. So get more people on there, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys here tomorrow. And let's get those 30 seconds rocking, 30-second stories rocking. Let's get those 60-second stories rocking so we can create more testimonials and more stories, and this team can support each other even more as we grow. So love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.